the Cute and Curly that fits the label punch, and I'm going to be using the Best Wishes stamp from that set. I'm going to be using the label, Curly Circle label. I've got some pearl buttons that I'm going to be using, and what I did, I want to make it kind of like a brad, but the button has a little shank on the bottom, as you can see there. So I simply took some wire cutters and just held really tight, and protect your eyes, and just kind of pop off, and that little shank comes off quite easily. So then you can add a glue dot onto it. I'm going to be using just a plain gold brad, a piece of white lace, printed paper is creamy caramel design paper. It wasn't a 6x6 pack. I think I used the same paper in the last episode or the one before. But anyway, I'm going to be using this, and it's two-sided. We'll be using both sides of it. Also going to be using 6 layers of white tissue paper, and then just a piece of scrap paper that you'll need to punch out with the white tissue paper. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to put these sections aside for right now. We're going to take our scallop punch and our designer paper and cut out 3 scallop circles. We're going to spritz them with water because we're making a really pretty flower. It'll probably be dark, light, dark. So it makes them a little bit more pliable. And just kind of crumple it up very gently. You don't want to tear it, but you just want to add some little bit of character to your flower. Next thing we're going to do is take the same punch and our 6 layers of tissue paper, and in order to punch tissue paper you need some additional heavier duty paper underneath, so that's why we're using the cardstock. So just shove them all in there and just give it a good punch. So this is how we're going to make our flower. I'm going to have the dark piece, 2 layers of tissue. We can give them a little crinkle too. It doesn't matter if they match up. As a matter of fact, the more they don't, the better. The lighter piece, 2 more pieces of tissue. The dark piece, and finishing it up with 2 more pieces of tissue. Poke the brad in through all the layers like that, and you can, before you close the brad, use it as a bit of a stem, so you can play around with your flower, and it's going to look something like this. Really quite pretty. Then you can close your brad in the back. Next you're going to take your button with the shank removed, and a glue dot, and place that right in the middle of your brad and press down. And then you can readjust your flower. So there, now you've got a really pretty flower for your card. Take a scrap piece of creamy caramel, the Best Wishes, and I forgot to say we're using Whisper White ink. So just stamp close to the edge here. There. And then we're going to punch that out with our label punch here. Next thing we're going to do is take our piece of lace here, so beautiful, and we're just going to place it on the bottom kind of third of the card, and then we'll adhere it on the other side. I'm going to use some dimensionals or foam tape to adhere this to the front of the card. I then went on to adhere the Best Wishes just sort of so it's hanging a little bit over the edge there. Okay, there's our card almost finished. As you can see, I made 2 flowers, so I thought it completed kind of that visual triangle, but it's a tiny little bit of pop, so I'm just going to add some dazzling diamonds around the edge of the card. One little note about the flowers too, make sure that they're dry before you add adhesive to them, because they don't really want to stick as much, and this one is drier than this one, so you can see how nice it's going to crumple up. So keep playing with it, and maybe even use your stylus to separate the layers and make sure the tissue's all poofed up and stuff. So here we have our finished card. I think it's very pretty, very elegant. The wedding theme of this wedding is a winter wedding, so I think the dazzling diamonds just adds that frosted effect of the card. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.